Could Bruce Lee actually survive Mike Tyson? On one side, the Dragon, the man who moved faster than the camera could capture. On the other side, Iron Mike, the baddest man on the planet. Today, we remove the myths, we remove the movies, we take these two legends to the street. No referee, no gloves, no rules. We ran the simulation. Here is the answer. To understand the fight, you must understand the fighters. Neither of these men was created in a safe, air-conditioned gym. They were forged in the fire of survival. Mike Tyson grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in America. By the age of 13, he had been arrested 38 times. He didn't learn to fight for trophies. He fought because he was afraid. He was bullied, beaten, and cornered. The rage you saw in the ring wasn't acting. It was the repressed trauma of a child who decided never to be hurt again. Tyson was a street predator long before he was a boxer. Across the ocean in the 1950s, Bruce Lee was fighting his own war on the streets of Hong Kong. This wasn't the movies, these were the rooftop wars. Bruce led a street gang. He fought rival martial arts schools and triad members. These fights were bare-knuckle, illegal, and often ended with broken bones and blood on the concrete. He carried knives, he carried chains. Before he was a movie star, Bruce Lee was a delinquent who fought to prove his existence. Both men know the taste of blood, but their paths to power were very different. Let's look at the cold, hard data. Mike Tyson, in his prime around 1988, was a biological anomaly. He weighed 220 pounds of fast-twitch muscle. But the most terrifying stat was his neck. Tyson's neck measured 20 inches in circumference. Why does this matter? The neck acts as a shock absorber for the brain. A thick neck prevents the head from snapping back during a punch, which is what causes a knockout. Scientifically speaking, Bruce Lee might not generate enough force to rattle Tyson's brain. Hitting Tyson would be like hitting a telephone pole. Bruce Lee, on the other hand, stood at 5'7" and weighed only 135 pounds. He gave up nearly 90 pounds to Tyson. In any combat sport commission, this fight would be illegal. It is suicide. But Bruce was not normal. He possessed near zero body fat and a reaction time that was scientifically faster than the blink of an eye. His power came from pure physics. Force equals mass times acceleration. He lacked mass, so he maximized acceleration. His famous one-inch punch proved he could generate knockout force from zero distance. But would that be enough to stop a charging bull?
Don't take our word for it. Let's ask the men who were there. Muhammad Ali, the greatest heavyweight of all time, was once asked about Bruce Lee. Ali admitted that Bruce was the only man he could not predict. He respected Bruce's speed, even admitting that he tried to mimic Bruce's hand movements. Chuck Norris, who fought Bruce on screen and trained with him in real life, said Bruce was pound for pound one of the strongest men in the world. But Norris also added a dose of reality. Bruce was not a professional fighter, he was a martial artist. And what about Tyson? In a candid interview, Mike Tyson himself addressed the rumors. He said, "Bruce Lee was a street fighter. He wanted to kill you. But in a ring, I'm too big. I would crush him." Tyson isn't being arrogant. He's simply stating the laws of physics. The way they prepared for war was polar opposite. Tyson was a product of the old school. Under his mentor, Cus D'Amato, Tyson lived like a monk. He woke up at 4 a.m. for a run while his opponents were sleeping. He didn't lift heavy weights. Instead, he did calisthenics, 2,000 squats, 500 push-ups, 500 neck bridges every single day. But his secret weapon was psychology. D'Amato used hypnosis techniques to remove Tyson's fear and turn him into a bad intentions machine. Tyson entered the ring crying, but he left the ring as a killer. Bruce Lee, however, was a scientist. He was decades ahead of his time. While boxers were eating steak and potatoes, Bruce was blending raw protein shakes and taking vitamins. He used electric muscle stimulators, technology that was unheard of in the 70s, to shock his muscles while he was reading or watching TV. He built his own isometric machines to build static strength, allowing him to hold a human being at arm's length. Tyson trained to be a hammer. Bruce Lee trained to be a laser beam. One relied on raw repetition, the other relied on experimental science. Now, we must set the stage. This is not a boxing match. In a ring, Tyson wins 100 times out of 100. The rules protect him. The gloves protect his hands. The canvas protects his head if he falls. But we are talking about a street fight. Here, 3 factors change everything. First, the shoes. Boxing shoes are designed for canvas. On wet concrete or asphalt, Tyson cannot pivot. He cannot generate his full power without slipping. Bruce Lee, usually wearing flat-soled kung fu shoes, has the traction advantage. Second, the hands. Tyson is used to hitting people with 10-ounce gloves. If he punches Bruce Lee's skull with full force using a bare fist, Tyson will likely shatter every bone in his hand. The boxer's fracture is a real danger. And third, the rules. There are no rules. Tyson is known for biting ears, but Bruce Lee's entire system, Jeet Kune Do, is built around eye gouges, throat strikes, and groin kicks. In the street, honor is a liability.
This is the simulation, the alley behind a restaurant, midnight. Tyson explodes, the bull rush. He covers the distance in a fraction of a second. The speed of a heavyweight moving this fast is terrifying. Bruce Lee knows he cannot block. Blocking means a broken arm. Bruce instinctively sideslips to the left, dodging a murderous right hook that hits the brick wall. Dust flies. Tyson roars, pivoting instantly. He doesn't feel pain. Bruce realizes his punches to the head are useless. He switches levels. As Tyson steps in for a left hook to the body, Bruce unleashes a sidekick directly to Tyson's lead knee. The knee hyperextends. Tyson stumbles. This is Bruce's only window. The dragon lunges for the eyes, a bijong finger strike. But Tyson is an animal. His reflex is to tuck his chin and swing wildly. Tyson catches Bruce with a grazing body shot. Even a grazing shot from Tyson feels like being hit by a baseball bat. Bruce's ribs crack. The air leaves his lungs. The dragon is hurt. The tank is angry. In a street fight, speed gives you the first hit, but mass usually has the final word. So, who survives? If the fight lasts less than 30 seconds, Mike Tyson wins. The explosion is too much. The chaos favors the heavy hitter. One mistake, and Bruce Lee is dead. However, if Bruce Lee can survive the first rush, if he can break the knee or blind the opponent, he changes the odds. But let's be honest with ourselves. Weight classes exist for a reason. There is a limit to what technique can do against overwhelming force. Bruce Lee was a genius, perhaps the greatest martial artist ever. But Mike Tyson was a monster. And in a dark alley, the smart money is usually on the monster. But this is just our simulation. Do you think speed kills power, or does Mike Tyson crush the dragon? Tell us your verdict in the comments below. Subscribe to Legacy Untold TV. Next, we investigate the mirror obsession, Bruce Lee versus Muhammad Ali.